Hi, and welcome back to our second channel, Yes Theory Plus. This is the full interview that came out of a conversation with our guide in Afghanistan. If you haven't seen the episode in Afghanistan on the main channel yet, I would recommend going to watch that. And to give you a little bit of context, the conversation, again, is with our guide, Noor. Noor has had a very difficult childhood, to say the least, and is one of the most inspirational people that I've met. At 17, he was named the best English speaker in all of Afghanistan and started to translate to government officials, and has just had a very interesting track record of really coming from nothing to building himself a career, and now building himself a tour group called Let's Be Friends Afghanistan. And the night before this interview happened, I asked him, how can we possibly help Afghanistan? And his first answer was, just making this video right now is the best and the most that you can possibly do. Just tell a story about Afghanistan that isn't just completely involving war. He wants to show a different side of Afghanistan, a country that he loves so much. But as I pushed him a little bit more, he told me about this dream that he had to start a school. He thinks that the most important thing to ensure a brighter future for Afghanistan is education. And so the night before this interview, I plotted with the rest of the Yes Theory guys to contribute $10,000 out of this Seek Discomfort Black Friday drop that I'm wearing right now to help Noor make this dream come true. He had no idea that I was about to break this to him at the end of the conversation, but I wanted to make sure that you got to know Noor a little bit first so that you can fully understand why I made such a split-second decision. I hope that you'll enjoy this full conversation with our guide Noor. We're once again excited that we can use Seek Discomfort to contribute positively to the world around us. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in the Black Friday drop, check out the link in the description below and enjoy the full conversation. Noor, first of all, thank you for taking us all around Afghanistan.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, I need to thank you and Drew for coming and visiting Afghanistan. Thanks whoever tried to convince you to visit Afghanistan. Like, thanks to everybody, all the people who's visiting Afghanistan. Like, I love them all.
A lot of people try to talk me out of it, but there's a few people that I trust and respect that talk me into it, and that's why I'm here. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to do it and to come visit. It's been amazing getting to know a little bit about you, and I just wanted to have a conversation a little bit about your experience coming from here. And because you're Hazara, right? Yeah,
ethnically I am a Hazara, but yeah, so originally I am an Afghanistani. I appreciate Afghanistan. I love the whole people of Afghanistan. I love this country, man. I just love everything in this country, and I just want to show the people whatever Afghanistan can offer. Yeah, for visitors like you.
Being here, it feels like the Taliban and just the terror is like a disease in a very special place.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm curious because this war has been going on for, I mean, since you were born, right? Or before you were born.
So yeah, I was born right in the middle of the war. Yeah, and I was raised in this situation. I was exactly born in the north of Afghanistan, a city called Mazar-e-Sharif. Yeah, the toughest moment was when Taliban came to Mazar-e-Sharif, actually. The day when Taliban came, I was like 11 years old. And the toughest news was, for me at that time, just one of my friends that we were playing together, and we were classmates in the English, in my English class, and then all the people had to escape and go to the mountains of Mazar-e-Sharif. He was escaping there for his life. We were a bit late, but we also did the same thing, but we lost each other. But after 1 week, after 2 weeks, like, I found out that he's dead out of a disease like popped in the people, because lots of, like, thousands of people, especially Hazara people, they were escaping and going to the mountains. And on the way, they didn't have water to drink, they didn't have food to eat, so they were drinking any type of water from the streams, from the ground, like, and it was dirty, it was not healthy, and people suddenly got sick. This cholera disease popped among the people. Unfortunately, my friend, his name was Qayyum, and he's dead as well. Even now, like, people are scared of Taliban if they come, so they were worried about everything. At that time, it was exactly the same feeling, the same thing. But what made our situation much worse, like, I mean, people of Ali Chupan especially at that time, they took over all the areas and they were stacked at our village. All of our men came together, like even normal people. They left their job and shops and stuff, and then they were fighting against the Taliban. And they really didn't like the people in our village. People were so scared, and they evacuated like the whole area. They all by walking, they tried to go and escape into the mountains of Charkent out there. But unfortunately, lots of them were killed and died between the city and the mountains because Taliban were shooting behind them. Lots of heavy artilleries were shooting behind them, and also because at that time the government of Afghanistan was totally under the control of Taliban. All the airports, all the airplanes, and then they were bombing over the people. 25 to 30% of the people were killed like that on the way, just between the way from the city to the mountain. So it was an extremely horrible situation, and well, everyone was scared in our family since we were very young. Like I was the oldest child of the family, and I was 11 years old. So my father had 6 children. We couldn't even walk that long. It's like a very by drive, it's like 1 hour drive at that time. Like by walk in the middle of the desert, and like at the heat of the summer, it was very, very difficult.
So you had to take all your things and just leave for the mountains with your family?
Yes, and we had to leave everything behind, like the family, the house and everything. For a while we stayed quite away from the city, like for a week, and after a week we finished our food and water and everything, so we had to come back to our house. And then when we came back, the Taliban put our house on fire. Like they were searching for guns and weapons and everything. When we came, we saw this situation. We tried to off the fire, but we couldn't. The fire was so strong. Taliban has shot like several bullets into the belongings where they wanted to take them out to find guns. We didn't have guns, so my family was not like a military type of family at that time. So when we reached at the house, the smoke was coming out. We tried to, at that time we didn't have like water in the pipes, or life was really, really primitive. And we tried our best, but we couldn't save the house. Like for 3 days and 4 nights, our house was on fire, and it was just burning and burning, and everything was finally finished. It was a crazy situation, but it was like a miracle. No one, hopefully, from our family was lost in the wars. But lots of our neighbors, lots of our friends, and lots of people were actually lost. They were just put in prison. I have now many of my neighbors and some of my relatives. For 4 years, they were left in the prison, like in the prison of Taliban. And they were tortured. They had a very tough time.
There's not a lot of the times where you hear these direct stories coming from people that lived it, especially from someone like you that speaks such good English.
Yeah.
It's very rare, and I think hearing the news, it's so sad that we've gone so numb to like, oh, another bomb goes off in Afghanistan. And the horrible thing is that's several families losing family members, and you forget that the people that suffer the most from terrorism are the people that are in the countries where it's happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, like crazy stuff happens around Afghanistan. You know, nowadays our government is trying to make a peace deal with Taliban, and they're like in Doha in Qatar, the Afghanistan representations, the Taliban representatives, and they're trying to discuss, but at the same time still, unfortunately, quite explosions are happening around Afghanistan. Yeah, like day by day the Taliban are just attacking and attacking. So it's crazy, man. It's a bit difficult for me to talk about these crazy situations in Afghanistan, but you know, I have a passion about this country. I'm trying to forget about all this crazy stuff going on here, and try to show some of the beauties of Afghanistan, try to stay positive.
Are you worried that it'll get worse?
Yes, unfortunately, it's kind of worrying, because at the beginning, when like in 2001, when Taliban were kicked out, Afghanistan was like 0 Taliban, and Afghanistan government was totally powerful with a very strong support of the international community behind it, especially America. And now the international community is kind of tired. They really want to get out of Afghanistan. The America is like, every time in the news we hear that they're trying to leave Afghanistan, and so it is a bit worrying and challenging, because we had all these countries, all this NATO behind us, and we couldn't really have peace in Afghanistan. Like during the last 20 years, I couldn't, with a peaceful mind, I couldn't travel from Kabul by road to Kandahar and from Kandahar to Herat. If they're not controlling like 60% of Afghanistan, I'm sure they're controlling like 50% of Afghanistan right now. And this 50 to 60% happened while all these backups and American forces and international troops were in Afghanistan. So if all of these guys go out, then yeah, so it's very easy for you to imagine, you know. I'm just really worried about the future of Afghanistan right now when I see all these amounts of beggars and kids and children with no education, and they're just growing older and older. So we need to think about that. Like, it's our duty to think about that, and at least to help to offer a better future for Afghanistan. I know that the problem in Afghanistan is crazy and it's big. Even the world came to Afghanistan. Hundreds of billions of American dollars came to Afghanistan, but still we have problems here. But at least we need to try our best, because this is our home. We belong to this territory, you know. And so I'm thinking of making a new school, like a shelter, to somehow help these children, give them the money that they're earning, but instead asking them to come and stay in the shelter and educate. And I have very good, you know, network of my friends who are very nice people, who are educated, and they want to collaborate, they want to volunteer to work to support these kids. And I'm really hoping at the beginning of 2021,
Wow.
we're having a shelter, at least to begin with, a rented house.
Yep.
And rooms for the children if they wanted to stay out there, because mainly I am trying to cover the kids who are like begging on the streets, no families, they're just left behind. So mainly I'm trying to cover those type of children, but still beside that there are children who have families, but they're extremely poor and they need to work. So we call them the working children on the streets. So these two types, because they're really the future of Afghanistan and they really need support.
So how does it work to start something like this for you? Like, you need like a license, it's like an organization, and then you build it in your town?
Well, actually, we need to have an office, a house, a secure location for the kids at the very beginning, because we are just starting from zero. With the financial stuff, it's also a big problem. So, well, for the beginning of everything, I'm just trying to use some of my income from my guiding and then set up this school.
So I went to bed last night and I was just staring up at the ceiling, and I was just thinking about this, like what you were telling me. And I went back and I messaged my friends, and they all really connected with the story as well. And as a part of this video, we're releasing Seek Discomfort clothing that we're going to be selling, and we would love to take some of the proceeds from that and contribute to your school.
Oh, that would be so nice. That would
And
be
so,
very helpful.
and so we're thinking of bringing you $5,000 to $10,000.
Wow, man, that's I can immediately buy like a piece of land for the compound.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice of you, man. This is like really, really touching, man, you know.
I just like, I can't listen to your story and like not
Oh, man. This is
want
a
to help.
surprise, man.
And we've never really done anything like this. I don't even know what the logistics are of like,
Yeah,
you know,
we need to
helping you get that kind of funds, but it would be a dream for me to help you in your mission.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
There's more to this.
Yeah, so Thomas and I have brainstormed about this, and without you, I wouldn't be able to see your country and tell the world about it, so I would like to make a contribution as well. This is real.
My situation actually now, it's very like sensitive me. I don't know, what do you call it? Like, you know, man, I'm about to cry, man.
No, man.
So yeah, thank you so much, man.
You are literally like the nicest person in the world. You're so humble.
I'm sure without your help, we're going to go to the knees, man. We cannot do anything. So I was really hoping that someday I was going to do this. You know, even my English is kind of crazy
Man,
now, man.
it's okay.
I
Noor,
cannot really speak very well.
just
but
you don't have to speak then.
yeah,
just,
thank you so much.
Breathe.
Man. Yeah, just thank you so much.
No,
man.
of course, man. Like Afghanistan's a place I will be coming back. I think year after year. That's why I keep
Yeah.
asking you where we can go next. Because the more you travel here, the more you become addicted. We're gonna help you make your dream come true.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course, man.
I'll be proud of yourself, man.
You should be proud of
I
yourself.
just be proud of you guys, man. And I'm sure this school will be a good thing one day. And I'll remember that you guys were almost the first people who helped me with this.
And I would love to figure out the 50% of this is not just us contributing. It's our Yes Theory audience is very passionate about helping to create a positive change around the world. And the fact that they're going to know about this, I'm sure everyone's going to be really excited to help you in other ways. There might be other people that are watching this that think like, hey, I can help in this way or in that
Hopefully,
way. Because
yeah.
I think this part of the world like should not have less help and like people leaving this country. I think there needs to be more help, and a school and education like we were talking about last night, to me really felt like the most important thing that you can gift to a child. Not everybody in the world gets to have that kind of privilege, and
Exactly. Yeah.
and if with your help, if there's any organization that I would help, it's yours. That's the one that I would want to help here, because I also know that you're a perfectionist, and I know that you're gonna and you're one of the hardest working people that I've met, and I know that you're gonna make this school incredible, and I also know that you understand the children here and what they need.
Yeah, I think that's the number one need for Afghanistan, to support their children. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Drew. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Yeah, you're just. Thank you so much, my friend. I cannot forget this moment, man. This is one of the toughest interviews that I really had before, and yeah, just thank you, man. That's it. It's very short.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm also speechless. You're gonna make me cry.
Man, come on.
Give a hug.
Thank you, bro.
You're
Thank
gonna
you.
make
Sure.
something beautiful, and I know it.
Yeah,
We
thank
love
you
you,
so
man.
much, man.